Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha, this is Jeebs here, your old composer here at the Decomposer Lounge, dissecting your suggested videos. Anyhow, this one's for me. This one's a Throwback Thursday, and this was probably one of the most impactful bands that helped me set a baseline for how I went about writing music to this very day, and that would be the band Yes. And this song is Shoot High, Aim Low. And please, even if it may not be your jam, this is a song you need to sink in, whether you got your beer, your whiskey, your martini, you're going to pull a nugget on the machine, whatever your jam is to chill, or just put your rocking chair out the porch, do some porch sitting with your mason jar, sip your jack, whatever it is, chill out and listen to this with me. I'm only going to stop a couple times, but I want to kind of rinse in the impact and the power of ambience, ethereal engineering, along with composition and musicianship. And it should be quite the ride. So from Big Generator, that was the name of the album. This is Yes. Shoot High, Aim Low. You guys know the story. If you see advertisement or anything, it doesn't monetize my channel. If you want to buy me a cup of coffee, that would be fantastic. The link is down below. The link will be down below for this song too. So you guys, maybe some of you have heard this for the first time, definitely go check out this track. And also this album was really absolutely mental. Anyhow, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Let's do this. Yes, shoot high, aim low, Throwback Thursday, and melt your face at the same time. All right.
So fast, this heavy load, with a touch of luck and a sense of need. Seeing the guns and the faces, we looked around the open shore. Waiting for something. Shoot high, break low.
How do I not stop after that? How many different ways and layers can I peel apart on this? This would end up being a really super long breakdown. But I think if I can kind of just glam a little bit on the perfection of the layered arrangements through the simplicity of the composition. Now remember, simple isn't easy. So they have all these musical nuances, these arrangements. Sometimes the guitar swells in here, or the answer back from the vocal is a hard left, hard right, with a short delay, slap delay on it. They have different elements coming in and out to serve up these little kind of parts of your journey. Kind of like if you're just driving down a road and then all of a sudden you're just kind of going through and you're chilling. You got trees to the side of you, then it just blows open and it's wide open space and stuff. The use of reverbs and the engineering on this to me is immaculate. It doesn't get any better in my world, my soundtrack of life, than this. This was what I moved towards. Not every song that they did, I had, this kind of reaction. And yes, I'm a huge fan of their earlier stuff as well. But this particular track for me and who I am as an individual really stuck out. The musicianship. How about that last phrase? With the acoustic guitar and the bass following right behind it. Remember guys, this is not the day of nudging files, in perfection as we can do now with all of our DAWs, whether it's Cubase, Pro Tools, Nuendo, Logic, whatever it is. This is musicianship at its finest here. And the fact that they go in and out of different kinds of uses of their instruments, I saw them live once, and it was amazing just to watch that, how they had the guitar set up and stuff so that they were able to execute a lot of this, as we hear it. So anyhow, I'm just going to continue on. The last thing I do want to say is that use of reverbs and how it gives us that long journey, ethereal kind of vibe. But that that just sets the glide for this whole thing for me. So anyhow, I'll shut up. I'm going to go back a little more and get into this and here we go.
This was to be our last ride with a steel guitar and the love you give me. Underneath the skin, a feeling, a breakdown, where we sat for hours on the crimson sand. Exchanges in the currency of humans, bought and sold, and the leaders seem to lose control. Shall we lose ourselves for a reason? Shall we burn ourselves for the answer? Have we found the place we're looking for? Someone shouted, open the door! Look out! Shoot high, break low. Aim high, shoot low. Feeling of imagination. Break high, let go. Shoot high, aim
All right, so through this passage here, one of the things that I enjoy the most out of this is this solo that we just heard. So we already heard the musical capability of the guitar playing and stuff. And this is like one of those David Gilmour style of guitar playing in that solo where every note is meticulously thought of and played. And it's not saying that when we do solos, I'm not that good of a guitar player, but when musicians do solos, that isn't the same. But a lot of times when you solo, you glam, you phrase completely different, you highlight sometimes your skill set. And in this case, well, it was really apparent what the skill set of the guitar was, with the guitar, turnaround during that during that phrasing before it went into the second verse. Yet this solo just kind of bled soul, all the way through it. Once again, I lean back into the purposeful, ambient, ethereal vibe of this track with the use of the reverbs and stuff like that, and different post effects with delays and reverbs and stuff. In this case, they're pretty hell-bent on giving us that kind of, firing through the universe, like flying at the tip of a rocket, just kind of experience, and letting it all fall away from behind us. But yet, a lot of these reverbs have these, or at least this one reverb has got to be at least a 2 to 3 second long reverb. There could be a little bit of a pre-delay on it. Sometimes it's a little hard for me to pull that out because I'm really just trying to listen to the whole track, but can't help it. I know a lot of people were more into their earlier stuff. Yes, it's completely different songwriting and style of composition. It's also based on technology and the availability. The one thing about Yes, and where they really stood out with the owner of the Lonely Heart project, is that they were the first ones to take advantage of, I think that was a Fairlight, of sampling and doing things. Even the opening of the song had the orchestra tuning up and the bass player was tuning up, and they left that in there. As far as I'm concerned, during this period in their journey, and also in the world of recording and composition, Yes pushed every single limit. They always pushed limits in their compositions and their writing, but then they took it in this particular track and pushed everything to a limit. Yet less is more, hence the impact this track has on me. Maybe not for you guys and stuff, but it does for me. But all right, so I am going to go back a little bit. I'm going to shut up for the rest of the track, and that's that. Here we go. For you young musicians and producers or engineers that might be hanging out to listen to this with me, that last 2 minutes was probably like if I was to be teaching some young musicians or composers the art form of layering, that probably might be one of the phrases that I might use. And the reason why I say that is because what they did is they set this pattern that they started playing, right? As it all came right down. And then what happened is they started introducing these layers of arrangements, but they don't keep the layers of arrangements through. So in other words, it's not like a layer is introduced and it stays, and another layer is introduced and it stays, and another layer is introduced and it stays, so that at the end there would be these multiple, layers working in conjunction, whether syncopation, sometimes meter change. What this was to me was an expose of just little fireworks that were coming in. The answer back on the vocals, even to the end. The blues sedan, it didn't go much further. That whole thing, all those little beautiful little comebacks in the layering of the arrangement to me was so impactful, and I use that technique in so much of my work, that I do when I get the opportunity. Sometimes I get work sent back to me saying, "Yeah, you did a little too much. Can you pull this out?" Because I get involved in my own, what I like to hear, opposed to what the client likes to hear. That should be its own video, huh? Anyhow, so once again, that last phrase that we just heard, with all the intricate introductions of layers and pulling back, and then an answer in the vocal, and then a guitar swell that comes here, while this pattern just locked us in and kept us through the journey, is just, to me, that's what's the magic of this song. From Yes. So anyhow, thank you guys for hanging out. This was a really long video. This was my Throwback Thursday, and definitely my face melting experience. This was not a suggestion from anybody, actually. This was just me doing what I wanted to do today on this day, on Thursday, Throwback Thursday. So anyhow, guys, thanks for hanging out. The link for this song will be down below, so you can really just rinse in this without hearing me yap over it. And if it's the first time that you've heard this track or experienced this particular album, I'm always grateful for this channel, but I'm also grateful that for those who haven't heard music, that sometimes they get introduced to new music and new experiences. So anyhow, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. You guys take care of yourself. You know where all the links are. The coffee. La 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 la. Take care. Aloha.